Salutations, dear friends, and welcome to another video about island living, this time with some features and details. Ooh, fancy! So tomorrow the embargo lifts, so I'm sure there's going to be a flood of information tomorrow, but a wonderful soul, I'm not going to even try to pronounce your name, I'm so sorry, I'm just going to ruin it, so I'm just not going to say it, I'm just going to put it on screen, made a big, ginormous Tumblr post about all of the things that went on when they went to EA Play. They braved 3 hours in the hot sun. They had an appointment and EA was not equipped for the amount of people who showed up. So 3 hours in the sun to play 15 minutes to compile a bunch of things for us to talk about. Now, I'm not talking about everything. So please, when this video is over, go and check out their Tumblr post, leave them a nice comment, you know, read through it. It's a very interesting read. I picked out some of the more important stuff. I know people want to know about mermaids. I know people want to know about the careers and the traits and stuff. So I picked out some of the more important stuff, but there is a lot of information on this Tumblr post. Like, please go give them a look when you're done with the video. So let's get started. I want to preface this with saying this was 15 minutes of playtime this person got to do. So it's not going to have, you know, in-depth stuff going on. You're going to have to wait for reviews and such to come out with in-depth stuff. But there is a lot to get through. There is no footage and no screenshots. So I'm just going to have trailer stuff and screenshots that have been leaked playing in the background. So mermaids, let's talk about them because I know a lot of people are excited about them. Mermaids will require hydration points to use their powers. So I'm guessing, just my thoughts, you have to get in the water, you build up hydration points from being in said water, and then you can use them to do certain things like summon a dolphin. This person talked about how they summoned something, they're not sure what, they blew in like a conch shell, and they saw sparkles like way out in the water, but they're not sure what that did. That might be calling a dolphin, that might be calling something else. Mermaids can have sims, like they can lure sims, they can have sims fall in love with them, and they can also be a little bit devious and drown sims. Now, there's something here about drowning sims that is a bit concerning. Drowning sims cannot be resurrected. Huh, interesting. So basically, if you drown in the water, I'm guessing this is a gameplay limitation because the Grim Reaper isn't gonna come on a little on an aqua zip and come out and collect your soul. It sort of seems like you're just gonna disappear. I don't know. I didn't play. They heard some of the other gurus talking about this, or they talked to a guru about this. I don't remember. There's so much on that Tumblr page. But yeah, you cannot resurrect a sim who has drowned and died. That's interesting. Are they just gonna like pop out of existence? Are they actually gonna die? If it's your sim and you want the gravestone, good luck. We already have bad enough time getting gravestones off of community lots. Like, what if this is a townie? Like, are townies just gonna be dropping like flies in the water like they did with seasons? I have so many questions about this. Like, you know, I would probably pay money to see the Grim Reaper ride an aqua zip out to wherever the person drowned and reap their soul. Like, I would legit pay money to see that because I'm pretty sure that would be like the most amazing thing in this pack. Just to see him go out on an aqua zip and stop next to the person and whip out his tablet and play with it a little bit and then stand up and reap his soul and then leave. That would be really cool, but we don't get that. They just can't be resurrected. They're gone. They disappear. Who knows? I don't know. It's probably because they're not technically on a lot. So I'm hoping that there is some protection for the townies because they're not technically on a lot. Like, I know if you're not on a lot, you can't die from a lot of different things. That was kind of broken with seasons, with weather. They just started dropping like flies when they got too cold or too hot. So I'm not sure. I'm really not sure about how this is gonna work out. For me, I'm gonna keep a really close eye on my sims because I don't want them drowning and then not being able to recover a gravestone or save their lives. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about that. I'm wondering how common it's gonna be for townies to drown because when seasons came out and it got super cold and they weren't in the right attire, like we're talking about 5-10 sims just dropping instantly because they're too cold. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that that doesn't happen with just Sims drowning everywhere. I know, that's like some big, really big, horrible thing that I would not want to see. It's just all these Sims dying everywhere. So let's move on. I think I've rattled off enough about that. Mermaids look totally normal, like normal Sims on the land. They do not have scales. They do not have fins, nothing like that. So they don't look like they do in The Sims 3 with the scales up the legs. I kind of like that though, because that was the color their tail was going to be with the scales on their legs. I just thought that was a really nice touch in The Sims 3, but we don't get it in The Sims 4. Kids and toddlers do not have a mermaid life state. So you have to wait until they hit teenager to be a mermaid. A little bit sad. I always like seeing my kids walk around and my did toddlers have colored legs? I don't know that toddlers had colored legs. I'm only going from my experience in Hunter Baby Hunter Puppy, which is season 2, when we had mermaid and fairy babies, and the ones that didn't have wings I knew were fairy. So I don't think the toddlers had scale legs, but I know for a fact that the children did, and I always thought that was kind of cool. Just a nice little, hey, guess what's coming when they age up to teen sort of thing. It was a nice touch, but I don't think people are really going to be too worked up over not having scales. Sims can wade into the water, just like they did in The Sims 3. It does take a while. It's going to probably get annoying if you have to wade in constantly and out constantly with mermaids. It's probably going to get annoying. You did see in the trailer slowly wading into the water. It's exactly pretty close like it is in The Sims 3. It's a slow process to get in the water. So unless you're on a house where you can jump off the back into the water, wading into the water is going to take a while. Yeah, not sure how much I like that. I really didn't care for it in The Sims 3 because it just seemed like it took a crazy amount of time just to get in the water. I don't know. You know, it's realistic, but sometimes you just want them in the water. You don't want them to spend a year getting in. There is no winter on the islands, but storms, tropical storms are a thing, and this might only tie into seasons. Now, I have another little footnote here. There were no other packs installed on the computers at EA Play. There was just the base game and Island Living. So there is no information on if pets can swim. There's no information on how the weather works in Sulani, if it needs seasons to have the storms. We don't know. I think that was done deliberately because they want to keep some of the information back for like the game changers who had a lot of time with the game. They don't want all of the secrets just put out there for everybody to look at and know of before the game changers can make their videos. So yeah, there's not a lot of information about that. I'm hopeful that pets can swim. Fingers crossed. It was a little bit sad that you couldn't in The Sims 3 with the ocean. They just couldn't get anywhere near it. I was like, really? But you know what's kind of funny? The townies in The Sims 3, the NPCs, could pick up their cats or their little dogs and get in boats and go places. And I'm like, but they can't swim. I think I would have preferred for them to be able to swim than to ride in a boat. I don't know. I just hope that they can swim, because that would be a nice, fun thing to take the family and the family dog. Or I would love if the cat could swim. I'm hopeful that there will be a mod, because there is mods to walk your cat. So I'm like, fingers crossed. They're about the same size. Can we do this? Fingers crossed. Let's talk about the dolphins, shall we? There are 3 different types of dolphins, so I'm guessing there's just 3 different looks. I don't know. They didn't elaborate, so I'm guessing there might be 3 different looks to the dolphin. You can do a lot of interactions with them when you befriend them, like you can feed them, which costs money. You can kiss them, you can give them a name, you can pet them, you can splash with them, and they'll squirt water at you. They also have tricks, like being able to dance and rub their belly and play catch. So you can, I don't know if they come pre-trained or if you have to train them. Just being able to do tricks sounds like fun. Sounds exciting. So let's talk about the career. The conservationist career has 2 branches: the environmental manager, there we go, and the marine biologist. They both sound very interesting. The other careers that they talked about, like the dive instructor, the fisherman, and the lifeguard, are all part-time, work at your own pace sort of careers. Sort of freelance, so there's only really one career, but I'm glad it has 2 branches. That's super nice. There's 2 new traits, child of the island and child of the ocean. Child of the Island loves doing things around the island, like fishing and festivals. They're basically really excited to be part of everything that goes on the island. And then Child of the Ocean wants to protect the ocean. It probably goes along really well with the conservationist career of wanting to clean up the beaches and make the ocean nice. The Child of the Ocean does not want to fish because that hurts the environment. They don't want to hurt the fish. So it looks like the conservationist career and Child of the Ocean go together really, really well. There is a new aspiration called Beach Bum. These Sims like a very simple life on the island, lounging on the sand. They live on island time. You know, I'll get there when I get there. They like taking part in everything that goes on the island. That sounds like a very interesting aspiration. Though, I wish there were more. I wish there were more aspirations. I talked about this, I believe, in my last video about Moschino. Yeah, I think that's Moschino. I can never say that right. I always have to go out and look up how to pronounce that. Moschino, I talked about how I'm not really a fan of like the drip feed of real slow. Here's a couple traits, one or two. Here's a single aspiration. I would prefer that there were more. I think we're kind of lacking a lot in aspirations and traits, so I kind of wish there were more than just one and two. But you take what you can get. So let's talk about scuba diving. This is going to be kind of contentious, I think, but scuba diving is a rabbit hole. Womp womp. You have to buy the scuba gear, and it's kind of expensive. I think they said $2,500 to buy the scuba gear, and then you have to swim out to a designated point, which are marked by buoys, sort of like the dive lots were marked in The Sims 3, and then you can dive underwater and do various things like, what did they say? You can like go fishing, like and do other things in this one area with the buoys. So yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I get it. I get that they can't do like the big reef thing that they did in The Sims 3. I'm actually really, really proud that they learned from that mistake in The Sims 3. I don't know if it's just a limitation or if they're like, yeah, we should probably not do this because of lag. I don't know if it's probably one of those two things. Probably more on the limitation than not wanting to introduce lag. I don't know. It doesn't seem like they really care about lag. They just seem to keep adding things that add lag. They just do. But I digress. So yeah, it's a rabbit hole. Not sure how I feel about that. Like snorkeling is just basically swimming upside down. It's done, you know, on top of the water. That's not a rabbit hole, but actually scuba diving is a rabbit hole. Interesting. So there's one last thing I want to talk about, and before we get into that, there's a bit of a disclaimer. The guru that this person talked to may not have been informed really well about how sunburn works in the game. They even mentioned that they weren't sure how sunburn was implemented, but they did have a nice little tidbit to share. And again, take this with a grain of salt. They may just be uninformed or misinformed, but they said because of how suntans and sunburns work in the game, that custom clothing might be messed up by them. Yeah, custom clothing might not work if you have a suntan or a sunburn. So that might be an indication that maybe this pack is going to break some stuff. And that's really sad to hear. I mean, we all kind of have just resigned ourselves with mods breaking every time that there's an update. We know the UI is going to get updated for Mermaids, so that's definitely gonna break the mod. But custom clothing, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. I know a lot of people, myself included, I have lots of cute flowery dresses that I love. I would hate for them to be broken because of something like sunburn or suntan. I don't know how I feel about that, guys. I don't. So what are your guys' thoughts? Definitely go support this person. Follow the link, it's in the description. Talk to them, leave them notes, let them know how you feel. Say thank you for spending 3 hours in the sun to get into EA Play to bring this information to us. That is very commendable. I don't know that I would have stood 3 hours in the hot sun in LA to go to play a game for 15 minutes. I don't know if I could have done that. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Farewell, my dear friends. Don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you want to see more. Ready for another adventure? You can watch another episode of this series, or you can try something brand new. There's more recommendations in the cards in the upper right hand corner as well. There is always more coming to the channel every single day, so come back for more adventures real soon.